Hello everybody and welcome to Reviews That Don't Matter with Jessica Hitt. My name is Jessica Hitt and today on Reviews That Don't Matter we are talking Kong Skull Island. This is a spoiler review, so please do not watch this if you still plan on seeing the movie and you haven't seen it yet. Okay, bottom line, do I like this movie? Yes, I loved this movie, and I liked it and I loved it in the same way that I loved Jurassic World, as it was kind of just a complete crap show of violence and ridiculousness. And you know, people are like, I want more character development from the human characters, and I think that it's a little bit more difficult because Kong in this movie was awesome. He was the star, and he was rightfully so. You really cared about Kong. I loved every scene he was in. It was just electric seeing him on there. And you do really end up caring about him. And with the people characters, I think that they tried a little to, I can't even put my finger on it exactly what they did. Like, there was so many random characters that we got introduced to that we were supposed to care about and we didn't. And I agree. I do think that there should have been more character development or just better characters in general. I really enjoyed Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston in this. I know that it feels very one-dimensional in a way, but I still enjoyed their characters. I liked that Brie Larson wasn't the typical damsel in distress that you've seen in these King Kong movies, and of course this isn't like the King Kong that we have seen. This is the Skull Island version of it. And so you're not going to get the damsel in distress necessarily, but they still paid homage to that type of thing, which I did enjoy. I did not think the whole Samuel L. Jackson character, the whole plot point fell flat for me. I don't like this sort of this guy is a leader of these troops for a reason, because he's good at his job. But he showed the entire time on Skull Island that he was not good at his job, that he led people into death, and that he didn't care about people dying by the end of it. He was so blind by trying to get this monkey, the gorilla, Kong monster, dead, that it just kind of made no sense to me at all. I would have actually, you know, a character I did really like? I really liked Chapman. And Chapman, if you do not know, was the character that was kind of the stiff, the right-hand man to Samuel L. Jackson's character, who went down on his plane by himself, and he eventually was eaten by the skull guys. What did they call them? The skull lizards. Skull crawlers, I think, is what John C. Reilly's character did say. And then they find out, because the whole reason that they're out there traveling is trying to get Chapman, because they have everybody else who's alive at that point, except for him. I wish they wouldn't have killed him off. I wish, because I really liked the scene of Chapman watching Kong after that whole helicopter fight kind of clean up after himself. I thought that they were going in a way different direction than they did, you know? I kind of wish he would have been the one to stand up to Samuel L. Jackson's character and take over the mantle of leader of the group. I wish they would have gone that way. They didn't, however. Also, you have John Goodman in that movie and you don't utilize him that much. I mean, John Goodman is king, you know, and he should be used way better. And I think that maybe because there's so many characters, and especially because Kong took up a lot of screen time, that they didn't really, I was very shocked that he just died, randomly in the middle of a fight. I was like, okay, wasn't expecting that. One thing I also will say about the human characters is that the two scientists that they have, there's zero chemistry between them, and also you don't give two craps about them. So at the end of it, when the Asian doctor is leaning her head on Corey Hawkins' doctor, who I cannot remember, I was just like, well, that wasn't completely unearned. I don't give two craps about them being together at all. They had one scene where they talked earlier, and so that was kind of a mess. And the more I'm talking about it, the more it sounds like I was really frustrated with the situation. But I'm one of those people who went in that movie and I was like, I don't need too much of the characters. I really just want to see a fun, dumb action film. And that's what I got, you know? It's the same thing with Jurassic World. I just went in there because I wanted to see T-Rexes tearing crap apart. And I got that. I do prefer Kong Skull Island over Jurassic World. And that is, I think, because I did really actually like Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson's characters. I did. I wouldn't mind seeing them in another movie. And I think what really added to their characters was the end credits scene with them kind of having to join that sort of organization that is discovering all these monsters. And I liked how they were locked in that room, and then you had Tom Hiddleston kind of like yelling and being like, "You're never gonna let us out, we're not gonna tell everybody," and then Brie Larson was like, "I'm gonna tell the Russians." I kind of liked that. I thought it added to their characters. If that scene had not been in there, I might have gone out of that movie like not caring too much, but I did really care. I liked the scene, I did. But the real standout is John C. Reilly's character in that. I loved him. He was like the real comedy behind the whole thing, and I thought every single one of his lines landed. In fact, it had the funniest line in the entire thing, where it's kind of more towards the ending climax. It's a little bit before that, where they're in the woods and he's with the two doctors, I think, and he's like, there's like this weird sound coming, like a bird sound, and he's like, oh. And he says, beware of the ants, and they just go, the ants? And he's like, yeah, they sound like birds, but they're fucking ants. And it's just like, that was so funny in the movie theater to me. Like, I was by myself, of course, that's how I see movies, is completely by myself these days. And I was like laughing so hard, and I was kind of a little embarrassed around everybody, but because I was like the only one laughing that hard, because it was funny, it was a good line, and John C. Reilly did a great job in this movie. But at the same time, it's kind of where I wish that because at the very beginning of the movie, we see him land with, because it's during World War I, or it's during World War II, where he's against, he's an American, part of the Allies, and he's fighting the Axis member in Japan, and so they both crash land on Skull Island and they're fighting, and then of course it just they see Kong for the first time, and then you learned later on that they became friends and like brothers basically. And I wish that he wouldn't have died. I wish it would have been those two, and I think it would have been really funny if they both learned each other's languages, but they never talked to each other in the same language. Like, if he always spoke in Japanese, and then John C. Reilly's character always spoke in English, but they understood each other. I just think that would have been really funny. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that sort of comedy duo, and I would have cared more. And like, you can kill off one of the other scientists, I don't care. The more and more I talk about this, the more I seem to like not care about this movie. But I like the movie. I'm probably higher on this movie than a lot of people, because the whole, like, yes, there were some weak characters in this film. It didn't seem that bad to me, you know? There were some of the soldiers I really enjoyed, and I didn't think that we needed a lot of character development or backstory. I really enjoyed them. So I was happy with it, especially because we got so much of King Kong in there. Like, we got an awesome Kong movie, finally, and I'm just very excited about that. So that is my review of Kong Skull Island. If you'd like to give it a thumbs up, comment down below what were your thoughts on it. You know, feel free to spoil, because this is a spoiler review. Also, don't forget to subscribe to me. I do movies every Monday through Friday, and they're mostly reviews that do not matter at all because they're late or no one's watching them, or, you know, all of that stuff. So if you guys are interested, tomorrow I will be doing my Beauty and the Beast spoiler recap review thingamajigger. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.